Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to episode 18 of Direwolf20's Age of Engineering series. I fancied up my house a little bit. I did more than that though. This is the room I've really focused on. I'm slowly but surely tidying things up a little bit. I think it actually looks pretty good. I'm rather a bit pleased with how this room turned out. Like, I put windows. You can see my cool water wheel out there. How great is that? Just been, between last episode and this one, cleaning a few things up, trying to make things look a little bit nicer than they have. Taking some of the feedback to heart that you guys have given and wanting to see fancier buildings and whatnot. So, doing my best. I'm not great, but it's probably better than cobble. And we got windows. A little bit of natural light going on, looking good. Actually, a little bit of a thing I did here, it was driving me just a touch insane with the fact that this room was not oddly spaced and I couldn't center the glowstone, which I'll probably paint, by the way, at some point. I'll use the painting mechanic from Ender.io once I get a painting machine, which will be eventually. I also installed my elevator, and down here you can see a little bit more going on that I did between episodes. Haven't cleaned up the basement yet, but I did get a bunch of wiring done, so you can see I don't have a ton of the conduits yet that I need for Ender.io conduiting, but so I'm using a mix of medium voltage relays and connectors and stuff from Immersive Engineering along with Ender.io conduits. So like this connector feeds the conduits that feed the machines, right? That's the basic gist of what we're doing there. So, still a little bit of a dire wiry mess down here in the basement, but it works. I also made 2 more oil generators, which needed a total of 4 more machine casings. But now we have 3 oil generators going on for a grand total, if you count. Is the oil gen running? It might be running. Nope, it's not running. So, without coal gen, the 3 oil gens and the water wheel give me around 250-ish RF per tick income right now. Now keep in mind this is running at 50, so a couple machines currently running. This guy doesn't look like he's running, so he's probably not using power, but yeah, so we should be sitting around 300 plus ish. You are getting a redstone signal, you're squeezing, so that thing's actually functioning, so he's draining some RF, so a couple things using RF at the moment. So that's what I worked on last episode, and I will probably slowly but surely convert the rest of the base to look a little bit nicer too, but I'm mostly doing that off camera because it's just a repetitive effort of me breaking cobble. There's no mod in the pack that I've found that has any kind of an exchanger, so I can't swap out things like I have in the past. Oh, by the way, I threw some potatoes in here for a few minutes and got myself a lot of food because I was hungry. So that's what I've been working on. I hope you guys like it, because I worked hard on it, not gonna lie. I put some effort into that, and I think it looks good. Today, I don't even know, man. There's things and stuff I want to do. So we're definitely doing better on power, which I'm very excited about. I'm happy to have a good power situation going on. The building looks nice. Everything's kind of working. So let's take a look. You know what? One thing I'd love to do is upgrade my armor to get like a full suit of dark armor. And get some nice upgrades on it, like speed and jump and the glider thing and a couple other things. I also wouldn't mind a staff of the traveling staff, because that's a really good way to get around for the time being. And a traveler's staff of traveling is actually pretty cool. Ender crystal, dark steel, and an ender crystal is just a soul vial with a vibrant crystal in the soul binder, and the soul vial needs to be of enderman. So that should be easy peasy, because all I really need to do is bounce that over to here. And once I've actually gotten this, I no longer have to break blocks to get outside my doors and stuff, so that would actually be cool. So let's switch you to capture mode, put this guy in here, and activate him. So he's going to drain a bunch of RF to do this. Looks like my MV that I've got going on is not quite enough power transfer to really manage this. But remember, MV is kind of a medium tier thing. I could, if power transfer becomes a problem, there's 2 things I can do. I can either start looking at doing HV, which shouldn't be bad, because all I need to do is turn my MV connectors into 2 HV connectors, and all it costs me is aluminum and more clay. Not a big deal, to be honest with you. And insulating glass is just crushed iron and cactus. That's no big deal. That's easy peasy. So those are a couple things, and then HV wires is just aluminum wire and steel wire, so that's not bad at all either. So I think those are some things I might look at doing. So let's get our Staff of Traveling first. Like, I want to get a couple gadgets and upgrades, and I really want to make sure that I've covered most of what's available to me in the current generation of technology. So that, you know, as we move into the next stages and the next ages of engineering, that I'll be good to go. So let's get in here. We've got one of you. So we're totally going to want to grab an Ender Pearl, which I don't have a ton of, but relatively easy to get now, right? So let's get the full armor suit. Does that sound cool? So we're gonna want, in order to get a full suit of this stuff, we're gonna want 5 plus 8 is 13, plus 7 is 20, right? So we're gonna need about 20 plus 2 for the Staff of Traveling, so 22. And then we're also gonna want 22 obsidian. We'll just get all this going, and 22 coal dust. And that should be cool. So first things first, let's get you guys cooking so that that'll be ready, and then these 3. Nice. We're gonna need an emerald, and then we can get our traveling staff, and that'll be cool. Batteries. I think Ender.io still has the issue of it might not work with batteries, but Neotech has an RF battery. Tech Reborn has batteries, but those might be EU based, it looks like. That's an EU battery, energy battery from Integrated Dynamics. Cool. I still haven't learned Integrated Dynamics, and it's 100% on my to-do list. But I remember Actually Editions batteries not being able to charge Ender.io items like the Traveler's Staff, which is kind of a bummer. So let's get you, let's get you. And the Staff of Traveling is going to do me nicely, because there's a couple things we're going to want to do soon that involve traveling. We're going to want to get around town, pretty much. So you and you, nice, 6 levels. You can have the 6 levels I already have. Beautiful. Look at it go. Very nice. And we should have about 2 of you soon. Cool. The other thing I've not done a very good job of is keeping up with making more of these. I should probably look at doing that soon as well. So yeah, overall, a couple things to kind of keep going. I would love to maybe give you an augment, like even a double or even an octadic capacitor, just to speed up some of the smelting that I do, because it really is slow. Just a little bit. We'll consider it at some point. But Staff of Traveling, totally my focus right now. Let's also read through the guide for a minute while we're waiting for that cooking to go. So because I'm currently in the Ender Age, you know, we can unlock solar panels. So if we wanted to get into making solar panels, we could do that. We could also do biodiesel if we really wanted to have and biodiesel is a pretty good RF mechanic. It uses a lot of steel, as I recall, to get to the point where I can generate biodiesel fuel and power. But once we get it, it's 4096 RF a tick, which blows away the 300 I got going on right now. And remember, in my Let's Play series, with a single cloche or 2, I think I used, but I could probably even knock it down to 1. We had a pretty good automation method for it. So that might be an approach we want to take. Or I could just continue to scale up my energy generators, which would be cool. So, hey, we've got a Staff of Traveling. So with a basic capacitor in there, we could even bump that up to another empowerment level, which I think, I didn't even know you could empower this thing. Oh, that's nice to have again. I missed you. I missed you, Staff of Traveling. I missed you so much. I really did. I think empowering it, which again, I didn't even know you could really do. But I believe, let's get some things. You, the garnet, the resonating, and my last rose bush. I didn't even know you could empower this, so I don't know if that's like a new thing or just something I've never noticed before, but I'm guessing it based on what JEI is showing me. Like, this one has 100,000 RF, and the empowered version, empowered 4, winds up with 1,000,000 RF. So, I guess we'll see. I don't know if it gives you, like, a further range or something, but also totally going to want to make a few more of these as it is. It is nice not having all the wiring there, to be honest. That's kind of cool. Now this guy's got a net loss going on. But that's focused around, or it's limited by the MV wiring downstairs. But there's plenty in the capacitors here to finish this craft. Cool. Because we're going to want probably a handful of capacitors if we want to start upgrading the armor I'm about to make. Lots of capacitors, actually, come to think of it. Lots and lots of capacitors. So I probably won't upgrade all my armor today. But one of my goals is to be able to get the armor and then get to the end. And if I can get to the end, I can hopefully get some of those end rods or the end flower things. I don't know if they're on the initial end island, though. Like, I'll have to travel through those end doohickeys. And that's going to be tricky because I don't have flight. And there's no way to get flight without an elytra. Whatever that thing is. I don't even know how to get an elytra. Like, I have to go look it up because I've literally just never had the need. So that's, you know, a fact. That is kind of funny, hopefully, to some people. So let's get some capacitors here and we can start looking at upgrading our stuff. So you're going to just need liquid resources. What is that again? I always forget. Thick and clear glass. You need clear glass from environmental tech. That's right. So we just need to cook this up. What I might wind up doing is... let's cook up this, but let's put it somewhere that it's not going to actually be used. Because the problem with the thermomagnetic fabricator is it will happily melt down the glass, but then it'll destroy any voided liquid, or it'll void any liquid when it cools. So if I don't want it to continuously use power, which, by the way, once this thing's all settled, I might wind up seeing how much actual RF this uses. But that should be cool. So I've got that, and then we're going to need... the only way to get you is with the calculator, right? Analyzing chamber has a way to get it from something, I don't know what, but your best bet is the calculator, gold and redstone. Just gonna make a bunch, because why not? Nice. Well, I'm not 100% sure what caused the crash there, but I crafted the thing I wanted to craft, so that's cool. So then you go into an anvil, right, with a few levels. I think it was... you don't say how many levels you need there? I thought it would be 6. Cool. And now you can hold 150,000 RF. Well, that's less than exciting. The next 2 tiers are better, but oh well. And it lost the RF that it had on it. Double less than exciting. Well, we've got that thing, so that's cool. Here's what I think I'm going to do. There's a few Ender IO machines, or not Ender IO. There's a few machines... why did I do that when I have my staff for traveling? Old habits, my friends. They die hard. Let me think about how I can... so here's a thing that that's occurring to me, right? If I want to visit the end, how do I get home? That's a conundrum. That's a serious conundrum. Because I can get to the end, right? I can go through those little things. I need to give this thing more power. I mean, like, not that we're producing that much, but we're currently limited by the wiring I have here. I might want this to be... How'd you get in here? What is this all about? Shenanigans is what it is. There's no dark tiles in here. How did he get in here? There's literally no dark tiles. Maybe that moment that the door was open? I don't know. So yeah, I'm not entirely sure how I'm gonna get home from the end. So like, normally the only way to get home from the end is killing the Ender Dragon, right? Which I'm totally cool to do. But before we get to the automation age, right, we have to go to the end. You have no way to get a jetpack, which is one of the goals of going to the end, but it's recommended you make dark steel armor with a glider attached to it. That's the closest you can get to flight. So between the Elytra, or the dark steel armor with a glider, and the staff of traveling, I should be able to navigate the end pretty well. Let me look into how to get an Elytra. Alright, so Elytra don't have crafting recipes, I just learned. This is how much I know about vanilla Minecraft. I know it's sad. So the plan is I'm going to have to go to the end and get to one of the end cities, which you get by throwing an Ender Pearl through those portals. But those portals don't spawn until you kill the Ender Dragon, and we wouldn't be able to get out of the end until we kill the Ender Dragon anyway. So, I think my goal here needs to be, I need to go to the end, kill the Ender Dragon, and go through the portals, find an Elytra if I can, but also find some End Rods, or some of that Chorus Fruit, which I can grow to get more Chorus Fruit, which I can use to make more End Rods, right? Because End Rods we can use with Blaze Rods and Chorus Fruit, right? Now, I don't even know if I have any Blaze Rods, to be honest with you. I've spent such a small amount of time in the Nether. So, here's what we're going to do. First things first. Wow, still surprisingly cooking up a lot of that stuff. Neat. We're going to want 4 more of you. We're going to need some Ender Pearls. We're going to need a hefty amount of Ender Pearls. I definitely need more power coming over here. I'm going to swap my entire MV wire connector set out with HV connectors. Does that sound like a plan? Just so power can flow a little bit more easily. Yeah, why don't I get planned for that? HV. So we're going to need aluminum and steel wires. So let's get... That's aluminum, right? Let's get ADU and ADU stamped with the wiring thing. One of these days I'll go ahead and make a better steel production mechanic, but for now the one I have is just working because I've been letting it run so passively that it's really not that big a deal. Cool. So you guys go in there. That'll get that cooking. And we'll also want to probably grab a bunch of... How much? I mean, MV... How much are these? Those just don't need it, right? So we can convert these right away if I get some hardened clay. So let's cook this up. And we'll be back in a minute. I'm going to craft this all off camera. Finally, after searching here... and here, and here, I finally found some semblance of a desert. Cactus is mine. Wah, wah, wah. What if I can go grow cactus in that thing? I would imagine I can if I just put sand in there, right? Neat. I've got cactus. Only took me a million years to find, but I found it. So correct me if I'm wrong, but if I put sand and cactus in here... Oh, that is cool. Look at that growing animation. You know, I gotta say, immersive engineering has some cool growing effects going on. Look at that. That is neat. Alright, let's squeezer. What I do when I'm like overflowing on resources, I just kind of throw the seeds in there. Hey, give me those canola seeds, would you? Thanks, buddy. It's just a good thing to do so we have extra seed oil. Hey, so I've got cactuses now. Cacti. I needed to go get this. As you can see, I killed a few Endermen too. Because if I want HV... this stuff, I need a little bit of glass now. Let's get 4 glass. Should have some glass laying around. I might have used it all. I was making lots of windows in between last episode and this one. So that should be enough to get this going. Cool. And then cactus can hang out in there. That's good. So gonna swap out a lot of this off camera here. So we'll be back in a minute when I'm done. But you're gonna be an HV. Cool. Oh, and I have to make the wiring stuff too. Come here, you guys. This should actually give me a decent amount of this stuff. Nice. All right, that should all be fully replaced now, if I'm not mistaken. So in theory, this I should be able to activate. And he's actually keeping up with the RF demands. Look, no longer draining RF. That's pretty awesome. Beautiful. Come here, Enderman. Your queen's next. Nice. All right, so we've now managed to replace everything with HV, which is good. Got myself a few more of these ender pearls, which is also good. While I was out adventuring, I got a few other things. You know what we can make now is our armor. Let's do that. Let me just clean up my inventory real fast. Cool. So I can put all these connectors away. I used most of my HV stuff, but we still got a few left. Nice. Oh, those are pulsating iron nuggets. All right, they're cool. Mob drops is here. Cool. That's pretty organized. It could be more so, but meh, it's all good. All right, with that said, let's do this. Let's next work on how we're going to deal thickened glass, huh? You can go in here, because that's mostly what I use you for. All right. Let's get our armor up. Cool. So you guys, let me get 3 ender pearls real quick. And you can be an extra. Cool. And 3 of these emeralds. I might have to go trade again at some point. I did find another village. It was somewhere. I found another village. I found another village somewhere. Forget where, but it's around here somewhere. I'll find it later. Armor, leggings, hat. Nice. That's pretty awesome. Now you are dark boots, but you're not. Are you empowered? You are empowered. Oh wait, it has flippers on it, but it's not empowered yet. So I actually do need a 4th. One of you, and one of you, and one of you. Cool. And that should be pretty close to enough. We're also going to want some more capacitors. So let me get... I'm going to try and make 2 sets of these guys, which I should be able to do no problem. 2 red garnets, 2 resonatings. We'll just get a rose bush because that's going to be our 2 rose red. So I'm preparing for a fight with the Ender Dragon, right? So I'm going to want good armor. I'm going to have the ability to travel around a little bit better than normal with the Staff of Traveling. And I'm going to put upgrades on all my dark armor stuff. I'm going to want a bow eventually too, but we'll get to that bridge, or we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. For now, you guys go. And I don't know that there's any way to speed this up, by the way. But look, they're not losing RF at all, which is cool. This guy's got a net loss of around 3,700 RF a tick. So he actually stings a little bit to craft these, but we've got a nice backlog of power, especially because we've got those 3 cooking full time, right? Fermenting barrel, fermenting barrel, fermenting barrel. Are we out of? We are. You know what I'm going to do? Here's what I'm going to do. Packing tape. Slime and 3 paper. Slime. I got slimes somewhere. I just don't remember what I did with them. Yeah, that should work. And the other thing I'm going to want to do, this, that. So I'm going to pick up this guy. Put that there. You can go back to making canola for me. In fact, let's just... Yeah, let's get a canola. Let's get a piece of dirt. I think I've got enough cactus for now, right? So you can go back to manufacturing canola for me. Cool. You guys are gonna have to be... cleaned up there. And like I said, at some point, you know what I could do is I could totally... How are you? You're pretty full, actually. So we'll deal with that in a sec. Go down here. There we go. That should last a little bit. So you guys still have lots of oil left in you, probably because there's oil inside the pipes here, but we caught this right before it ran out. And in theory, we should be able to have a good amount of that stuff. Nice. Another set of you, please. Because we basically get 2 capacitors for 1 block's worth of, you know, empowered Restonia crystals. We'll get a few more. Let's get 2 more clear glass in there and de-redstone signal you. Cool. And we're going to want about 10 copper. Cool. You guys are well on your way. Let's go put this cactus away somewhere like there. And I really don't think I need you anymore, so I'm going to trash can these things. You did well, Osmium, but I don't need you no more. Sorry. It's the way life goes sometimes. Alright, so capacitors. Yeah, it didn't crash that time. 4. You guys. 4. Now, for each piece of armor, it is 4 levels. Neat. 4 levels. And I believe it's 6 for the capacitors. And remember doing it this way with having exactly 6 on you. The first couple I didn't do right, but it was such a small amount of experience difference that it didn't matter. But at this point, it's the right way to do it is like this, 6 at a time. Now, if I want to get them even better, I could put double layer capacitors on, but I'm not at that point yet, so I'm not going to do that. So let's charge these bad boys up. Whoosh. That is beautiful. All right, nice. So now for this, if I want jump, I need a piston and 4 levels. So let's do it. For this, if I want speed, I need a potion of swiftness and 4 levels. So we're going to need a brewing stand. For this guy, if we want our glider, we're going to want glider wings. And for this guy, I don't know that we really need much. Solar is kind of meh. I don't know that there's anything in particular that we need there. So let's get glider wings, which I believe is a bunch of dark steel again, right? So glider wings is 2 glider wings and 2. So 2 dark steel plus 6, so 8 dark steel. And since I needed to go to the Nether to get blaze rods anyway, because one of the other things we're going to need to do very, very, very soon is make Eyes of Ender, which I hope he didn't make like a stupid recipe. No, he didn't. So we're going to need these guys to find the end portal, right? So let's go to the Nether and go hunting for stuffs. I'm going to put you guys away. And you. That should be cool. I'm just going to clean up my inventory a bit, and then we're going to go to the Nether to do things. So you can get organized. Nice. We're at the point where we can make another one of those emerald things without actually doing much. So that's cool. Yeah, I can go like this as is. I've got food. I've got armor. We're going to need some blaze rods. So one thing I'd like to find is blazes. I wouldn't mind finding another fortress. And if I can get a blaze spawner, all the better, because I'll bring it home and make another powered spawner. Does that sound cool? Now, have I found much by way of blaze spawner here? Where's the thing that lets me show? Why do I not really have much of a map here? I don't know. All right, I'm going to explore a bit, and I will come back once I've found something worth talking about. I, in the distance, see nether brick, which is a good sign. Hey, where'd it go? Got myself a little turned around here, which is easier to do than you would think. There it is. Nice. And I see blazes. Perfect. Exactly what I wanted to see. So we're kind of at the wrapping up point for the episode. So I'm going to farm a few blazes. I'm going to look around. I see a couple spots that might be good candidates. Like right here for a blaze spawner to live, but not particularly accurate. How about over here? That looks like a blaze spawner. Beautiful. Nice. So we have a blaze spawner. Look at that. That's good. And we have a handful of blaze rods. Beautiful. By the way, I picked up all the ardite I saw along the way because I've been using that stuff a lot. I'm actually not too low. I actually have a lot still, but I figured while I'm here, might as well pick it up. All right, so with that said, we now have a blaze spawner. Well, sort of. We have to bring it home with us and turn it into a powered spawner, but that's pretty easy to do, let's be honest. Shouldn't be a problem. The Staff of Traveling is great, but it's not that easy to use sometimes. Cool. And another blaze spawner, which is neat. So I might even farm some blazes while I'm here. Oh boy. Escaping. Alright, wrapping up point for the episode. I feel like now's a good time. So let's come back next episode. I may or may not construct the blaze spawner between episodes, but we've got a sufficient amount of blaze rods to do the two things that I wanted, which is to make the potion thing, so I can get speed boost on my legs, and we can get jump on these things pretty easily, and we'll get gliding. Then probably next episode, I would like to work towards getting a bow and arrow with maybe infinity and power on it, and then we're gonna head to the end and take on the Ender Dragon. For now, Darryl20 signing off. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Take it easy.